Friday. I have been gone the whole week. Sorry. Craziness. I'll get to that momentarily. While we are waiting on folks to join. Oh, what did I just do? It's been so long since I've been doing this. While we are waiting on folks to join, reminding you that my website, cooperkoch.com. By the way, I am rebranding. Cooped Up is going to be part of the Cooper Koch empire. Live here from my world headquarters of crafting and global domination. Or is it global headquarters for crafting and world domination? I don't know. I have to figure that out yet. On all the socials, I'm at the Cooper Koch now. I've changed my screen names. And wherever you watch or listen to this, be sure to click the bell and subscribe button, whatever it's called, so that you don't miss a second of the fun. Hey, Mama. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. So this week has been crazy, and I don't know what's going to happen. I know next week will be better, but after that, I don't know. So Mason is now switching from cross country. So a week from Monday, he has the state finals down in Waco for cross country, at which point he will start going to soccer practice more. He was going this week, but now we're not going to go next week. It's too much to overlap, having like 2 days. But his soccer practices are in the afternoons, and so I have to pick him up at like 4 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays, and at 5:30 on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Yeah, it's a lot. And there's 2 games a week also once they start getting into that. But the hard thing for me is I can't do a 4:30 time slot if I have to be there at 5:30. It just doesn't work out time-wise. So anyway, by the way, if I have glitter on my face, I will get to that momentarily as well. So I had the most random day today. So first of all, I'm going to a Diwali party, that's the Indian celebration of lights, I believe. Maybe colors. I think it's lights. It's a big, like, festive thing. It's kind of like, it's a season. We're in the Diwali season right now, and I'm going to a party on November the 4th at my friend Cam's house, and who is Indian. And I wanted to dress for the occasion. And so I asked Cam, first of all, is it cultural appropriation if I dress in traditional Indian garb? And he said it is not. It is only, and he's an attorney and he's very tied in. And I asked some other Indian friends too. It's only cultural appropriation if you were wearing it as a costume, like if I were wearing it for Halloween, or if you were wearing it like mockingly or something like that. If you were wearing it in deference or to meet the event where it is, that is the thing. So I was looking online for kurtas and sherwanis. Sherwani is the jacket if you want to go super formal. A kurta is more like a tunic sort of thing with the pajamas pants under it, and I think that's actually what they're called, pajama pants, and the little shoes. That's what I ended up going with. But so I looked online, could not figure out the sizing to save my life. And also the timing. So much of it is just custom made that I was like, okay, I need to go do this in person. So I asked Kim where I should go, and he sent me to the store in Irving, which was interesting. It was in the strip mall along 635 in Irving, kind of that Las Colinas Valley Ranch area. And every single store in the strip mall was Indian, like the food restaurant, a little grocery store, women's clothing, men's clothing, something else. Anyway, so I walked in. I'll give you a little sneak peek shortly. But so I walked in, and they didn't open till noon. So I got there at like 11, and they were not open yet. So then I went to Hobby Lobby instead, which I'll get to that momentarily. But I am, so I come into the store, me, 6'4", big blonde, big teeth, big hair, very white skin, all that kind of stuff. Walks in, and it was like a record scratch when I hit. I was like everyone kind of turned and like, hi. And this young guy comes up, and he's like, how can I help you? Blah, blah, blah. And everyone has like a really thick Indian accent. Like, this is a legit place. Gorgeous. I mean, the fabrics are gorgeous, all that kind of stuff. So I told them what I needed, and they helped me out. Well, first of all, they were like, what size are you? And I was like, I have no idea. Like, well, what size are you in American sizes? And I told them I wear a large shirt and a 34-inch waist. And they're like, oh, you're an extra large, maybe an extra, extra large. And I'm like, oh, they don't do vanity sizing in Indian clothing at all. That was like my ego's a little bit bruised. I'm an Indian XL. Let's just put it that way. That's so I went and tried it on, not the one that I bought. I tried a different one on just to get the sizing right because they're all the same, just different fabrics. To get the sizing right, and it fit and it was good. And so because it is like a celebration of lights and colors and it's an evening party. And I kept telling them, I was like, I don't mind being extra. So do not feel that the need to subdue anything for me. So they helped me pick out like this right here. Is the thing. It's almost like a Dupiani. I don't know what it's actually made of, or where it's made. It is dry clean only, but anyway, it's a really pretty green. It's actually not showing as well on camera as I thought it would, but with the gold and all of that. So you've got the kurta, which is it's a great color. It was between this, or they had like a almost like a turquoisey color, but a little bit darker than turquoise. I can't put my finger on what it was, but it didn't have the ornamentation on it. And I really like fell in love with the little beads and stuff like that on it. So it's that, and then it comes with the pants that go underneath it, which are also kind of a silky sheen. I did not try these on, so I don't know. I may be cinching them up if these are an XL, although that doesn't look very. Yeah, okay, that's gonna fit me, hopefully. And then with it, you wear a shawl. I had to buy this also. Really, really pretty shawl that matches kind of the gold. The shawl was almost as expensive as the kurta. And because it's got like all the beading on it, little pearly things, probably not real pearls, but all that. And it goes on, and I'm going to have to look up how you wear this. Put that on. And then I even went so far as I got the shoes. Look how cute those are. I don't know that I'll be able to wear them anywhere else ever again, but maybe I'll make it a style moment. Even the little toe thing, I think it got squished in transit, but aren't those so pretty? So gold and green, that is how I'm going to be. And that's all you're going to see until I take photos. You got the shoes? I did. It's looks much more comfortable than a Steffi Tex. I agree, Aaron. So here's the thing. When I had the other one on, it was so comfy that I was like, can I get away with like just wearing this in real life? Like, is that then appropriation? Like in the Valley, all of the women, white women, Mexican women, everyone wear like the señorita dresses, Could I get away with that? Granted, that's a Mexican culture down there. Here, could I get away with walking around in that? Am I going to become that unusual guy that's wearing the Indian garb all over the place? And hugely. So they were actually kind of having trouble finding stuff for me. Fortunately, they did, because they don't have these are a size 12 shoe. I wear like an 11 normally, but I had to wear a size 12. That's about as big as they go. Indians just aren't a really big people, and I am a very big person. And then the XLs, they didn't have a ton of XLs. So I feel lucky. I'm glad I went in person though, because ordering it online, it would have been terrible. Thank you, Sandy. Love it. Mom loves it too. Yes, I will wear it. I'm gonna have to steam it. They were like, do not iron this. It's dry clean only. You can take your hand steamer out to get the wrinkles out of it. So I will do that. The shoes are really fun though. I think I don't know how they were like, you can wear like little no-show socks, but the problem is they go down so much. I may end up. I used to have a pair of shoes. My feet are very narrow. I used to have a pair of shoes that I had to put like a stick-on pad in the back and then a stick-on thing right here under the tongue of it to hold my foot into it, because they are a little big for me. So, but I'm excited about that. So that's November 4th. It is, which I think is the very end of the Diwali season. So that, and then, like I mentioned, I went to Hobby Lobby before that. I meant to go to the Indian store first, but they were not open. And so then I found a Hobby Lobby up in freaking Louisville. So it's like 15 minutes away. And the reason I wanted to go to Hobby Lobby, disclaimer, I do not like that store. I do not like what they stand for. I do not like their religiosity of not paying for I think that their health insurance doesn't pay for like birth control and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of things that I very much disagree with. But I will tell you this, Hobby Lobby can rock the fuck out of some Christmas. They know how to do Christmas right. The prices are good. The quality is good. The variety is good. It's better than like at home. At home is a bunch of like cheap shit. I don't feel like Hobby Lobby's like that. So anyway, and I had seen on TikTok, there's this TikTok famous garland that is totally sold out on Hobby Lobby's website. Most of the stores are sold out of it. And it's like this cedar realistic. And I should have brought it upstairs. Anyway, I went to see if they had it because I was wanting, this is the year I wanted to upgrade and replace all of my old garlands that are starting to fall apart. They're those old school where it's like almost looks like pipe cleaners with like the paper just like that. And I wanted more like realistic stuff. And the prices come down on all of those. And so I go and I'm looking everywhere for it. And then I go back on TikTok and I look for the exact thing, looking in the comments for the names of it. And so can't find it anywhere. So, okay, they're sold out of it. Great, sold out of it. And so I'm looking at a different one, and I happen, because I'm tall, I can look at the second row because they hang them from the ceiling and then from like the middle, the second row, and I move it over to see how many they had of this other one that I was kind of digging on, and they had the one that I was looking for. So I had to go hunt down some little associate, made him go get a big extra tall ladder to get these down for me. And everything was 50%. All Christmas is 50% off at Hobby Lobby right now also. And so which I think that they're always some percentage off. I don't know that anyone ever pays full price for anything at Hobby Lobby. Michael's is the exact same thing. Michael's there's always a coupon for something or whatever. And Joanne is the same too. But so he climbs up on the ladder. I'm helping him get the garlands down that I don't want. And I'm like, how many are there? And he's like, I think about 4. And I'm like, okay, I'll take all of them. And then he gets it and he's like, oh, there's actually 6 here. Do you want all 6 of them? So I cleared the store out. $300 later, because they were originally $100 each, marked down to $50 each, but they look so pretty. I'll show you photos later. So got those and loaded up the cart. That's the only thing I bought there. And loaded everything back up into the car, go back to the Indian store, and then get the stuff at the Indian menswear store. And then I'm driving back and I realized I've needed to take my car into the shop forever. I've got like this fault on it that's making the ride really rough. It's in like some safety mode where it doesn't have the cushiony thing. And Dallas roads now that I'm having to drive, it took 90 minutes to go get Mason and bring him home at this afternoon. So if I'm gonna be spending 2 to 2.5 hours a day in the car, I need to make sure all of the comfort settings are working. And so I'm driving down Central, and I see it sitting in traffic, and I realize that I need to do it, and the dealership is right there. So I pull off into the dealership, and talking to these people, and I really wanted a rental car or a loaner car. They don't have any unless you book it like 2.5 months out, which that's been the experience for years now. I feel like no one has rental cars or loaner cars or anything. And so he's like, but I can take it today and we'll possibly have it back to you by Tuesday or Wednesday next week. And this is going to sound like bragging, but between Todd and I, we have 5 cars. Todd has 3 and I have 2. I don't like driving my other one. My other one is a Jeep with the big tires and all that stuff. I enjoy driving it when we're camping. I enjoy driving it just around the neighborhood. I do not enjoy driving it on the highway or any long distances at all. And so, but Todd can drive it and I can drive Todd's. That's what I did today. Just curious, care to share the cost or price range of your Indian outfit? I'll get to that momentarily. Less expensive than I thought, though. So get the car, they load me up into an Alto, take me home. That's the new thing car dealerships are doing now. Get home, I walk in the house and Todd goes, why are you covered in glitter? And I'm like, what? And he's like, you're covered in glitter, like your whole face is just covered in glitter. I'm like, fuck. Hobby Lobby was my first stop today. I have been to the Indian clothing store. I have been to the car dealership. and then I was in the Alto, and now I'm home, and you're the only person who's told me that my face is covered in glitter, which, by the way, Hobby Lobby, you just walk, I think they just throw it at you when you walk in. That is it is impossible. You can't even walk by a Hobby. There's two things that happen when you go to Hobby Lobby. You walk out covered in glitter, and you walk out smelling like cinnamon. And I both were the case. It's weird. Even these like garlands that I got, which are all just like rubber, plastic kind of stuff, they smell like cinnamon. And they're not scented like cinnamon. They've just been around that scent for so long. So I'm like, all these people probably think the Indians especially probably think I'm this weirdo who comes storming into their store, wanting to buy everything, like this Godzilla that I am, covered in glitter. My toenails are painted right now, so I'm trying on these shoes with painted. God only knows the stories that are being told about me tonight, which all wonderful, I'm sure. And then at the dealership also, I'm sure that they're like, what the fuck was that? So yeah, anyway. Sandy, to your question on the Diwali stuff. So I spent $300 total, all in, $297, something like that. This guy here, this with the pants, was $125 with the pants, which is not bad to me. I was looking at some on Amazon, and they were like really low quality, and they were still like $80. So I would rather pay $40 extra and have like a really nice, like I said, I think this is, if it's not Dupioni silk, it's supposed to resemble Dupioni silk. And then the pants came with that. The shoes were $60. So $60 for those. And then this was pretty expensive though. Of all of that, yeah, this was $80. Just this shawl was $80. But it's so big and so long and pretty. Hopefully Todd's not watching. I have my own money too. I actually have been, what? I don't even know how that is put together. Anyway, so this was $80. So all in $300. I think it's well worth it. It's going to make quite a statement. It's going to be extra, extra, extra. Just call me guacamole because I'm always extra. Someone called me guacamole yesterday, and I'm going to embrace that. And then what else? What else do I got? It's not bad. I agree. I didn't think so either. I forgot to go to the dry cleaners today. That's the other thing. I need to go to the dry cleaners and pick up my Pussy Bow shirts for black tie next weekend. I've got like 3. Next week is like a crazy like social event heavy week. But what else was I going to tell you? Oh, as I said at the top of the program, I am kind of rebranding this. So Cooped Up is going to stay. This broadcast is going to be Cooped Up Live, right? My website, though, is going to switch to cooperkoch.com. I've already switched the header to just say Cooper. What else? All my social media handles have changed to the Cooper Koch. Cooper Koch is not available. There's now an actor named that. And I don't know if he's squatted on some of them or what, but the Cooper Koch is my handle in all those places. Just filling you in on that. The other thing that we've been talking a lot about is, that Todd and I have a big trip planned, a big, 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 expensive 12-day trip to Egypt in late January until like the 2nd of February. It's like the 21st of January through like the 2nd of February, something like that. We're flying to Cairo through London, and then we are flying from Cairo to some other city in south of Cairo, getting on a Nile River cruise, and then taking the Nile River back up to Cairo, right? Well, that's the plan, at least. Well, so many people are like, are you still going on that trip? Are you still going on that trip? And my answer is, I don't know. And they're like, how do you not know? Why would you even go to that part of the country? Or that part of the world? Here is my thinking on this. First of all, the Serenity Prayer is my mantra. I don't worry about things I don't have control over. I don't fret. I don't wait and see is my approach on a lot of stuff. All of this Hamas and Israel stuff started 13 days ago. My trip is in 3 months. 3 months to November to December. Yeah, 3 months. So a lot could change now. I'm not saying it's going to. I mean, the U.S. government actually issued a travel advisory, a worldwide travel advisory for all Americans. So even if you're traveling to Mexico or Canada or Japan or whatever, worldwide travel advisory for Americans right now, for risk of hostage taking and all that kind of stuff. So obviously there is that. So but you know what? This cruise company is very renowned. Uniworld is the cruise company. They are going to take safety seriously. They're not going to put us in danger. Now, I'm not saying I'm going. I'm just saying they will cancel or postpone or whatever. They're not going to make these bad choices because it would be terrible for their company to push forward. Also, so I'm not worried about it yet. I'm not changing my plans. I'm still proceeding like that's what we're going to do. We also have travel insurance. I double checked, so the trip is fully refundable, or can be moved or whatever. You see glitter still? I've still got glitter all over me. And then the flights are the only thing that I don't believe the travel insurance covers because we booked those separately, but we use mostly points. So anyway, but that's been a topic of discussion, and I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything stupid, but I'm certainly not going to make that. I mean, the cruise alone for the two of us, I think, is $16,000, something like it's. This is a bucket list trip. It is. My mom is saying, "Don't go." No, I will wait. I will weigh it closer in. I wouldn't go today. No, for sure not. Because here's the crazy thing: is did you know that Cairo and the Gaza Strip are the same distance apart as Dallas and Austin? It's like 200 miles. It's like a 3-hour drive. Actually, I don't know if it's a 3-hour drive, but if it were in America, it would be a 3-hour drive. So I am just not going to fret, though. I'm going to keep an eye on it, make smart decisions. We're not going to make any dumb choices. We're not going to put ourselves in harm's way unnecessarily. But again, a lot can happen. It's been only 14 days, and a lot has already happened, right? So anyway, but a lot of people have been asking me about that. That's why I addressed that. And the travel insurance, I think, is pretty robust. It wasn't cheap. The travel insurance for each of us was like $750 also. Do you get if you use the travel insurance and you get a refund on your ticket, do you get that money back also, or are you out minus the travel insurance part? Aaron is saying it's not like you'll stand out at all. Exactly. Yeah. I never try to sneak it. I never try to sneak anywhere. I always have my hair done. I always have my face on. I always have my teeth brushed, all of that. I never try to sneak anywhere because it is impossible for this 6.5 foot tall person to sneak anywhere. So I just have embraced it. You know what? I actually don't mind it. So anyway, what else was I going to tell y'all about? Because I didn't even have a chance to write my card down. I can't remember if I talked about this last week, but I saw an article that Eddie Bauer is changing their logo. You know, the clothing company. Their logo is Eddie Bauer, and they're changing it because they are afraid that young people cannot read cursive well enough to understand what their logo is, because their logo is Eddie Bauer written in cursive. So that's where we are in the world right now. Like, that's how you can do code messages. Just write it in cursive or use an analog clock or something. Clara can actually read and write in cursive, though, because when you were dyslexic, that is one of the trainings that they do, is in order to help you learn to mentally connect the letters and the sounds as like a cohesive unit. They teach you cursive is one of the techniques. So Claire's set. But yeah, that Eddie Bauer is having to go through this entire big rebranding. Well, this is what they said, though. It's because they don't believe that Gen Z and millennials know how to read cursive. That's what they said. So it's so sad. I know. Well, you know what? It's not their fault. They haven't been taught cursive, have they? Like, I don't even think they teach it in most schools anymore. I mean, I don't know that Mason knows how to write in cursive. I mean, he goes to a good private school. I don't know any kids other than, unless you deliberately had cursive training, that So Stacy's saying, wow, cursive. That's what I tell the kids. They fight me all the time on working on it. But think about so many documents in history written in cursive. Oh, and there's a lot of documents written in history that are in cursive that even people who can read cursive don't know how to read, because the cursive was so scrolly back then. The other thing that is interesting is I need to, and I've talked about this before, I need to train my children how to have a signature, because we're getting to the point now where they need to start signing things, and both of them just know how to print their name. And I thought, I was like, am I a failure as a parent? But then I started talking about it, and almost all of my friends who have like teenage kids are like, no, they don't know how to sign their name. They don't have a signature. So just kind of developing like a style, like what the signature is. Things that you don't, I can't think, I mean, I probably didn't have a signature other than I knew how to write cursive. And that was the thing. I knew how to write cursive. So I would write my name in cursive, which then translated to signature, right? Huh, interesting. I never really thought about that. So with the loss of cursive, we also have the loss of signatures. That's mind-blowing, isn't it? So anyway, Sandy loves cursive. Yeah, I write in like a hybrid. Like I don't do all of the letters like to the letter, quote unquote, how they're supposed to be. And I have certain things like if I like when I write Smith or the or something like that, I write one line down and then I cross the T with the H. Basically, there's a lot of things little things I do like that. But yeah, interesting. So the only time my kids have to sign is on their green light card. Yes, purchases, but not all of them. One is a perfectionist, one is like a doctor. Yeah, I don't know. Mine kind of freeze when they have to do that. So anyway, that is on the list of things that I need to do for my children, resolutions. So alrighty, well, that's all I've got today. Let me look through the comments and make sure I did not miss anything. I don't think I did. So alrighty, well, with that, yeah, green card. I know, I knew what you meant. The green light card, which I love, by the way. Alrighty, well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you were loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you so much. So next week will be hit and miss. I don't know what's going to happen after that. I'm kind of having to revisit everything because the schedule thing and being in my car and all of that is kind of fucking it all up. But we'll figure it out. I don't want to stop doing this. This is good. At the very least, it's good therapy for me. So, alrighty, well, take care of yourself this weekend. Don't should yourself to death. No good comes from should. And I will see you next week for another episode of Cooped Up Live, should I say. That's another reason why I'm not getting rid of Cooped Up. I like saying it that way. Cooped Up Live, should I say. Talk to you later. Have a good weekend. Bye.